Within your baby's first year of life, the brain will double in size and form over 1 million neural connections every single second. Now, this makes the most signal that makes this the most critical window for neurological development that your child will ever have. And yet most parents are told just to track milestones, their first smile, their rolling, their first steps. And if something feels off, the answer is almost always the same. Let's wait and see. Or they'll grow out of it. But what if your baby is technically hitting the milestones while their nervous system is still struggling underneath? What if the foundation is cracked and nobody's checking it? And that's what we're going to be talking about today because your baby's first year is about so much more than a checklist. So this is something that most parents don't realize. A baby can technically pass those early developmental screenings while still having underlying neurological dysfunction that's going to impact their health, their learning, their behavior for years to come. So the conventional model checks whether your baby can roll at 6 months, but it doesn't check whether that roll is symmetrical, coordinated, or built on a proper foundational development. Many families come in our office saying the same thing. I knew that something was off, but everyone told me not to worry. And we hear that every single week. So your baby's nervous system is actually the air traffic controller. And during their first year, your baby's brain has an extraordinary ability to form new pathways and adapt. This is what's called neuroplasticity. So that same neuroplasticity that makes rapid development possible also makes the nervous system uniquely vulnerable to stress and to subluxation, which is the neurological interference from prenatal stress and birth trauma that can develop early and create lasting patterns of dysfunction, as well as dysautonomia, which is the imbalance between the gas pedal or the sympathetic and the brake pedal or parasympathetic that throws everything off balance. So when that foundation is stressed, every milestone that follows is built on shaky ground. And every milestone is actually a neurological test. You see, your baby's ability to latch and feed is their first major neurological assessment. It requires multiple cranial nerves and precise timing between nervous system and the muscles. Head control at 8 to 12 weeks tells us how the cervical spine and the deep neck muscles are developing. That 4 month sleep regression actually isn't even a regression at all. It's evidence of major neurological reorganization. Crawling is the most neurologically significant milestone because it actually stimulates balanced development of the brain's hemispheres and builds foundation for walking and reading later on in life. So babies that skip crawling or they crawl asymmetrically often struggle later with learning, with coordination, and behavioral regulation. You see, the sequence of development matters far more than the speed, and the perfect storm is what disrupts that development. So, the perfect storm describes how multiple stressors stack up and overwhelm your baby's developing nervous system, and it starts before birth. Prenatal stress and chronic stress during pregnancy affects fetal brain development. And then birth interventions like Pitocin, forceps, vacuums, and C-sections place significant pressure onto your baby's head, neck, and nervous system. And after birth, disrupted sleep, overstimulation, early antibiotic exposure, and feeding challenges pile on even more stress. Each layer pushes the nervous system into further sympathetic dominance, stuck in that fight or flight when they should be calm and regulated. So understanding this isn't about guilt. It's about recognizing why some babies struggle more and how we can help. So conventional pediatric care checks whether milestones happen within a broad time range, not how well the nervous system is actually functioning. So a baby can pass a screening while compensating through tension patterns, asymmetrical movement, or even skip developmental stages. And when parents express concerns about feeding, about sleep, or excessive crying, they're often told that these are normal variations. This approach misses the critical window when neuroplasticity is at its peak, and they have gentle support that can actually have the most profound impact. But what conventional care consistently overlooks is the assessment of this neurological component, subluxation and dysautonomia, the interference and the imbalance that doesn't show up on standard tests. So your instincts matter, and if you feel that something is off, we have to trust it. Now, at our offices, we use the advanced insight scanning technology to objectively measure your baby's nervous system function. And then these gentle and non invasive scans measure heart rate variability, the muscle tension, and temperature regulation. But the adjustments for infants are incredibly gentle to the touch, often no more pressure than you use to check the ripeness of a tomato at your store. And our care adapts to each developmental phase. Early weeks focus on regulation and feeding. Later months support motor development and sensory processing and social interaction. So rather than waiting for problems to develop, we actually take a proactive approach, supporting optimal function from the very beginning. And many families see remarkable improvements in feeding, sleeping, and development when stress and subluxation is addressed early and often. You see, your baby's first year represents the greatest opportunity you'll ever have to positively influence their neurological development and long term health. Now, the patterns established during this time actually last for their lifetime. So, if you sense that something isn't quite right with your baby's feeding, their sleeping, their development, or their regulation, you gotta trust those instincts. You don't have to wait and see. So, check the link in our bio, DM our office, or comment below to be able to schedule your baby's first neurological evaluation with the team at Haven Family Chiropractic right here in Katy. Your baby isn't just learning to eat, sleep, and move, they're building the neurological foundation for their entire life. So let's make sure that that foundation is strong.